welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing my August 2018 wrap-up and favorites. I wrap up all the books I read this month, and favorites, I mentioned some of my favorites this month. This isn't new on YouTube. A lot of people do wrap-up and favorites. First book I read this month was Royal Romances by Leslie Carroll. This was a reread. I got really bored. In fact, I stopped reading it to read another book midway through. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a non-fiction historical series of royal romances throughout history. Some are because they're married to each other and some are because they had scandalous affairs. 12 royal romances in this book. I felt like she could have shortened them and included more. I would still recommend Leslie Carroll to anybody who wants to read nonfiction historical books. Next for this month, I read My Plain Jane. I already did a book review of this, but you can check it out here. I'm gonna leave a link right here. This is the second book of the My Lady Janies. They retell stories about historical or fictional Janes throughout the series. So the first one they did was a retelling of Lady Jane Grey, who was Queen of England for 9 days. And this is a retelling of Jane Eyre. I think what makes their series so unique is that they always give it a comedic spin. If you're looking for a laugh in YA, definitely try picking this up. Last book I read for this month was Caravel by Stephanie Garber. It was one of those books that was just smack dab in the middle. I just don't feel like I'm invested either way. It's like I don't hate it enough to be like, guys, do not pick up this book ever. At the same time, I don't love it enough to be like, guys, pick up this book, it'll change your life. I would not mind if I never got to read the sequel. Honestly, it's one of those books that I just know in about a year and a half I'm gonna forget the characters, I'm gonna forget what happened, I'm gonna forget everything about the novel. But while I still have it in my old noggin, these two sisters get tickets to see Caravel, which is this magical circus performance that happens only once a year. It's kind of Willy Wonka-ish. And then one of the sisters goes missing, so they have to find the sister. The ending definitely got better. The last 50 pages or so really got my attention. So those are all the books I read for the month of August. Now I'm gonna do my favorites. They're mostly food, so let's start with the not food parts. I've never owned a laptop case in my whole entire life. I am the type of person who carries around my electronics willy-nilly and then they break and I'm so surprised that they broke and I'm like, oh, I wonder why. So I finally got a laptop case for my birthday. They're turtles and I love it. Next favorite I have is your monthly time where I try to pretend I'm a beauty vlogger. I started wearing dark lipsticks again. Problem. All my dark lipsticks were expired. That left me with one! It's NARS. I don't know what you call this. It's the NARS Power Matte Lip Pigment in Slow Ride. It's the one I'm wearing right now. Is this what beauty vloggers do? Sure. It's easy to apply. It's very pigmented. It's great for lazy people like me who can't spend more than one song doing their makeup. There's your makeup for the month. Let's talk about what I really want to talk about, food. Let's start with this embarrassing one. There's one left, guys. Tried my best not to eat them. As you can see, my self-control is very, very, very good. I've left one of the Silvanas. According to Wikipedia, Silvana is a Filipino dessert. It is a frozen cookie made from a layer of buttercream sandwiched between two cashew meringue wafers coated with cookie crumbs. Doesn't that sound good? They're all gone. More food! Cheese. This is Mango Sublime Chevre style from the Malagos farmhouse. We went to Sofitel for lunch once at the buffet. They have this big cheese room, which sounds amazing, right? It's a room dedicated to cheese. There was this mango goat cheese from Davao, and it's really good. I find out they actually sell it, so I bought 3 logs. Clearly I've been having the healthiest month, what with the frozen cookies and the cheese, and you're gonna love the last favorite I have. It's the healthiest of them all. Airheads. How old am I? Growing up we only had like the single flavored Airheads, and apparently now they have like double flavored Airheads, and this just happens to be 2 of my favorite flavors, blue raspberry and cherry. I'm gonna go to the movies and eat my Airhead, or you know, while waiting around for an appointment I'm just gonna munch on my Airheads, or a pre-dinner snack. I've been having such a healthy month, guys. Next favorite I have, these little guys. These are glasses. These are my glasses. These are new glasses. So these are what they look like. Woo! It's been, I think, 5 years since I've changed my glasses. I like the way this makes me look like an old grumpy professor. Last favorite, I probably wouldn't have survived this month without it, and it is the podcast network Parcast. I have trouble flying. I get anxious, I get claustrophobic, I get triggered when I'm on long haul flights. I downloaded a whole bunch of podcasts to help me, and then it carried on to when I would go to sleep. I would just listen to these podcasts every night. Until now, I listen to it now. I listen to it in the car. I freaking love their podcasts so much. They have Tales, collection of fairy tales, and then they have their serial killers podcast, conspiracy theories, female criminals, another one of my favorites. They have Great Women of Business, Unexplained Mysteries, Gone is all about missing things, cults. That one might be one of my favorites too, because it just talks about a bunch of crazy people on this planet Earth who try to form cults. Then they have Historical Figures, which is the first podcast of theirs that I ever listened to, Unsolved Murders, and possibly my favorite podcast, Haunted Places. Parcast is not paying me in any shape or form, by the way. I just love it so much. But if Parcast, you watch this and you'd like me to pay me, wouldn't say no to that. And that about does it for my August 2018 wrap-up and favorites. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys!